start using Blender. This is Blender 2.9, and we will start using a double cube to create the head and the base for our body. Add a subdivision level and hit apply to it, so we will get the round cube right like this. Positioning like what you want, and select the side of the cube so we can add a mirror modifier. So we just need to work on the side and don't mind with the other side. Scaling it down a little bit for the head cube. Don't forget to turn on the clipping in the mirror modifier, so our model will not separate to each other, and there will be merge in the middle of the mirror. Let's add a cut loop so we can make a more possibilities on this mesh, because there is many vertex we add by using cut loop. The shortcut for cut loop is Ctrl R. So now let's extrude it for making our bird peak. Rotate and positioning it, insert more edge loop, scaling it down and make it more looks like bird peak. Scaling it down for more proportional look. Select some vertex under the head, and we will bridge from the body to the head using fill face. Firstly, we need to positioning the body more like a duck, and extrude some face so we can make our bird wings. After it, scaling it down and make it more proportion like a bird. You can separate face or vertex to new object using P and selection. So right now let's bridge from the head to the body using fill, like what I say before. Give it edge loop and start to scaling it up and give the more vertex look like bird. Right now I want to make the bird neck is more big. That's indicate the bird is got many feathers. So now let's jump to the wings and make wings get more vertex so we can create more shape into it. Now let's start to creating our bird leg. Extrude from the mesh and drag it into bottom in the Z axis. Extrude more and scaling it down. Extrude again until you get the leg shape. So now let's add a circle. I want to make a clock from this circle. Scaling it down so this will cover the half of the neck from the bird, and delete the front face from the clock, rotating these ones. So you can delete the side, and we can add mirror modifier like before. And let's positioning like what the clock be. So right now our bird basement has been finished, and we will export it into OBJ. You can hit the file, export OBJ, save it, and we want to start sculpt using Zbrush. In Zbrush, we firstly import our OBJ object that exported from Blender before. You can import the OBJ file using import button inside the tool tab. Drag it, and we can start using it for our base mesh to start sculpt. I want to separate this object into multiple objects using separate by group maybe, or you can separate it one by one. And right now I'm gonna start to make it more good shape using Move Brush. So let's use a Z modeler for extrude it and make the clock get more thickness. You can extrude by a poly group and hit the flip if you are in wrong normal direction. You can find the flip is in the display properties and hit the flip. So right now let's just make the body is more proportion and make it more like a bird. You can use a Move Brush, hit the keyboard P, G and M for Move Brush. Let's add our bird A by appending new spear from a subtool. You can scaling it down the spear using a gizmo. You can hit the W, or you can hit the gizmo icon. Right now I'm starting to add dynamics and start to sculpting and make it more proportion like a bird. I will give more speed into this. The main brush I use it is a Move Brush and clay build up brush. You can find the clay build up from the brush palette, or maybe you can hit the shortcut that is BCB. For making more resolution come to your mesh, you can use a Sculpt Pro. You can find a Sculpt Pro on the Sculpt Trees tab, or maybe Sculpt Trees icon to turn on the Sculpt Tree features. You can use snake hook and drag it for making feather effect in Zbrush. You can find a snake hook inside brush palette, or use shortcut PSH. In my opinion, don't use Sculpt Pro at all. You can use Sculpt Pro to add more resolution to your mesh and turn it off, and you can start sculpting using brush what you like. Right now let's append new spear from a subtool. and make it like a feather. So I will make my custom insert brush mesh so I can add feather more easily to our object, to our mesh. After we add a feather, so we can start sculpting by tintopping that first. So let's sculpting the wings of the bird so it will feel like got a feather inside of it. You can use move brush for smoothing out, clay build up for making relief, and give it more grace using standard brush. Or maybe you can use or brush you can find out on the internet for free. I got one copy that is I got from a comrade. You can check out the art brush that is really useful for your sculpting. So let's add cylinder to our subtool from a append in the subtool tab. This cylinder we're gonna make for our bird ring. You can use a zero measure for fillet or extract it and flip the normal like before and scaling it down using gizmo, positioning into what you like, and in my case this is a ring for a bird. Right now we are done in day 1, so let's jump to the day 2. In the day 2 we're gonna start to making more head like a bird. Just using a move brush for making a tweak into the head. You can use flatten brush for make your mesh more flattened like what you want. You can find a flatten brush by PFA. forget for remeshing your mesh. And after you remesh, you can use a project all feature inside the Zbrush to transfer your high mesh detail to your low poly mesh from the Untitled object. Right now I'm starting to painting my object using paintbrush. You can find a paintbrush in PPA and start painting. Choose your color and drag it to your mesh, and that is the painting step. You can choose whatever color what you want into the color palette and starting painting. Sometime you want to make specify body part color, so you can use the mask first, masking into your object and fill your object with that color what you want. Because this is a poly paint, so you need to give it more high resolution mesh before you painting, because when you painting on low resolution mesh, you will get a low pixel when you export it into image like a PNG file. For painting, I suggest you to change the material first. Before painting, I may use a standard material in Zbrush, and in the painting step, I may use skin material for painting. So this is more clearly for painting than the basic material from the default in Zbrush. After you finish your poly painting, you can generate the texture map, the normal map, and the other map using a Zbrush and export it as file like a PNG, maybe TIFF or PSD file type. There is many ways to you export it into image file. You can use the Zbrush plugin, or maybe you can manually generate normal map and the other type of map and export it using Zbrush. Anyway, you can export a multiple map at once using Zbrush plugin called Multimap Exporter. You can tweak the setting and hit export at your specified folder to create a normal AO, ambient occlusion, curvature, and the other map easily. After we're gonna jump to the texture painting step using a Substance Painter, and this is a step on the day 3. But before we're gonna go to the Substance Painter, we need to give a little fix into our object UV map, because a Zbrush is export image as a flipped in a vertical direction, so we need to flip the UV map at the vertical direction too using Blender. But as I told you before, you can export it using Multimap Exporter using Zbrush plugin, and that is, we doesn't need to flip our UV map using a Blender, so that will be automatically flipped using a Multimap Exporter. So let's create new Substance Painter project. I'm using 2K map resolution. Import the object and add resource like the normal map, AO, and whatever map you want to use at this project. But in this project, I would just want to use the normal map from generated map using Zbrush. After the project was made, you can insert each of the normal map to each of the object and start the bake. You can custom your bake. That means you can pick all of your objects at one time, or you can pick one by one object at the spare time. After it, I will let you with my time lapse and enjoy the texturing step using Substance Painter. You will see how I creating layer by layer for coloring this model, this pigeon model. And anyway, the final step is rendering. The rendering step I done using Eevee inside the Blender, but I'm not showing to you how I make it. Thanks a lot and enjoy this texturing step.